says we're live. Are we indeed live? Perhaps I should bring up the stream monitor to tell. This is Chris Delp coming at you live, barely paying attention to the camera. There I am. Coming at you live from the Free Play Away Games Studios, where we have a good bit of programming for you. Thursday programming. Nerd Side of the Ring will be coming up as soon as the boys trickle in here. Hopefully the ladies as well. Hey!
Wrestling.
Jesse.
Hi.
Who wants to hear about wrestling?
Me, because I don't get to watch the matches anymore because I'm, do I need more coffee? Do I sound like
You're
I need
casual.
more coffee, guys? Overly
Yeah.
casual, Chris?
Chris always needs more coffee.
I mean, I've got coffee, okay.
If you're not drinking coffee now, then you need more coffee.
All right, so we have
Wrestling is so 90s, dude. Tell
That's
Mike
true.
B to get out of here with that.
That's very true. No, it is very 90s, but we're bringing it back, I guess. Now, I barely got to watch it at all because of Wrestling Wednesday shenanigans.
Yeah.
Everybody, it felt like, was there. Everybody wanted to play every game, so I was running around like crazy. Didn't get to watch a single match. So I'm looking forward to hearing about wrestling, if nobody else. But yeah, we have Mike B news. We don't have Mike B, but who needs him? All free plays are open today. Free Play Fort Worth is where the Third Strike players will be. Eddie and Johnny are trying to spearhead an effort to get more Third Strike happening at Free Play Fort Worth starting tonight, Thursday, which they are open. They will be there 2 nights. I'm thinking about going out there and joining them, actually. And, you know, Jesse, if you want to get some ST in on the side, you feel like sauntering out to Fort Worth, then, well, honestly, then I'm definitely going.
On the weekend for sure, that's when I'm available.
Gotcha.
Speaking of being available, look who's here.
Tiger Lily?
So wait for him to...
Me.
Wait for someone to plug in his mic.
It takes a while.
There's not good service at Low Tiger
Oh,
Cabaret.
Jesus. Is he in his Benz again?
Wow, I actually have him.
Does he do this every time?
Yes.
Well, he just turns on his phone and the ladies start texting him immediately.
Jeez.
Does he like think it's cute or what?
Yeah.
Hey Mike, how you doing?
Jesse, what is up, man?
My dude.
No, my dude.
Who's
My
driving
dude.
you?
I'm at home. I'm not driving right now.
Is it James?
See?
No.
Is it Eric?
Eric.
Oh no, you fired Eric.
I don't.
Oh,
Who's
R.I.P. Eric.
I don't want to get
Mike
into
P
that.
doesn't even remember you.
I don't get into that. Oh no, hell no.
I am at home.
You here earlier than I thought you would be, Mike.
3 minutes.
I mean, you said 12:30, and usually about an hour later than you say. So
Yeah.
yeah, we were all prepared. I even had an intro worked up for Tiger Lily, since you were going to be there. You want to hear it?
You can still do it. I don't mind.
All right, this is for you, Mike, but it's also for Tiger Lily. Joining us now, live from the Elysian Fields Automotive Repair and House of Book Hiding,
Wow. Oh my God.
the Women's ST Champion, the undefeated Killer Queen Champion, and the Woody Harrelson of Free Play.
What?
Nice.
It's Tiger
Very
Lily.
nice.
What's in the news, Lauren?
Wow. Oh. I can still do the news? Yay.
We can all do the news.
Like I have articles. I have fun stuff to go over.
Well, we'll have to keep it until Damien gets here, but yeah, fire it away.
Okay. Are y'all familiar with the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Are we ever? Mike B wore out 3 different VHS tapes.
Oh my
watching
God.
that. Yes.
Yeah, Mike
Well,
played it on. He played it at what's that one club you own? Deep Ellum.
Low Tiger
Low
Cabaret?
Tiger
Twilight Lounge.
Cabaret?
That's the one-
Twilight
He
Lounge.
still owns that one. Oh, Twilight Lounge.
That
Yeah.
too.
He played it there,
Mhm.
and people try to
Oh.
leave, and he's like, "Y'all can't."
He
Yeah.
played it on the
You gotta hear
he played it on the
Wookiees.
side of Jeremy's house too.
That I will do.
Oh man,
That I
he'll-
will do.
actually, you might not.
Well, anyways, they are bringing that to Disney Plus soon.
Oh my God!
Nice.
No, but unfortunately, it is not our beloved OG holiday special. It is a Star Wars Lego, starring Chris Lego. on
Wow.
Disney Plus.
Okay.
A Lego Star Wars
Boo.
holiday special. Is it going to recreate the exact same plot line?
I'm really hoping it does. I would love to see.
Trying to celebrate Lego Christmas with the Lego Wookiees?
Yes. So. So apparently, it will have the actors from the films and the animated series reprising their roles.
Mhm.
That includes Kelly Marie Tran, Billy D. Williams, Anthony Daniels,
Colt
Matt-
45.
Matt Lanter, Tom Kane, James Arnold Taylor, and D. Bradley Baker, all recreated in delightful Lego form. They also released
The best
a
one.
new piece of key art for the Lego Star Wars special, which I will link it. Anyways, this special will feature new Star Wars trilogy characters like Rey, Finn, Poe, and Rose getting together with the rest of
Ew.
the Star Wars gang to celebrate Life Day. But Rey and BB-8 end up on a whole new adventure at a mysterious Jedi temple, which will bring in iconic characters like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, and Yoda, just to name a few.
Dang. I don't know whether I hope this is good or awful.
Star Wars is dead to me.
I was hoping it was just a remake of the holiday special in Lego form. I wanted.
I'm hoping
I
Billy
see.
D. Williams gets to drink Colt 45 on TV. That's
Yeah.
my whole thing.
He's just in the bottom corner of the screen like the ASL translator, except he's just drinking Colt 45 the entire special.
Lego
Trying to
Colt
go-
45.
Yes. Yes.
Would you like a fun fact that'll take 2 seconds, Chris?
No.
Yes, Danny.
Myself and Danny Bayless both have a Billy D. Williams Colt 45 sign.
I love this
Oh, wow.
so much.
Freeplay has it as well. I believe it was in Freeplay Denton.
Billy D. Williams one?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, what other kind of Colt 45 sign you're gonna have, right?
Well, there's, your standard generic ones out there, but
Freeplay
I don't
Denton
recall
was a
seeing
really
it.
cool place. It had the Billy D. Williams sign. Had the
where was it? I
it
recall
was
seeing
right
it.
off the Denton Square. I know you never went there, but it did
Huh?
have an autographed picture of you there.
Ooh.
Oddly, it was autographed by Jason Palmer, but it was a picture of you and it was autographed.
Oh, was it on the fridge?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I have like
I've seen
big,
that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I'm talking about. I have a big metal sign. Actually, one of those.
You have
One of
a
those-
big metal Mike B sign?
No,
Wow.
Billy D.
Is it
Williams.
made or?
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D.
Mister.
Williams has a big metal Mike B sign. That's
Right.
cool. I hope he posts a picture of it on his Instagram. Got to show off that Mike B bling.
Mhm.
Does he have any Beltran bucks though, huh? Think of how many
Uh,
Colt 45s you
he-
can buy with this, Billy D.
Zero. Zero.
Uh-oh, he's texting you angrily right now that he doesn't have
Oh
enough
man.
Beltran bucks.
He needs
Billy
a
D.
loan-
Williams is pissed off at Mike B.
He needs a
Go
loan
figure.
of 20 million Beltron bucks. Just
Dang
a
it.
small loan.
Worth an entire $7 USD.
Oh
Okay,
man.
so I got another interesting news tidbit today, and I don't know whether
Does it involve Taco Bell?
Unfortunately, no, I did not find any Taco Bell news. But if y'all do,
Mhm.
let me know.
Yes. Send all your Mexican pizzas to Tiger Lily. Actually, send it to the Elysian Fields Automotive Repair and House of Book Hiding, care of Tiger Lily 92.
Book hiding.
While you have a chance to send her Mexican pizzas.
Goodness. Anyways, no, this is technically Dragon Ball Z news.
Oh, more
Interesting.
This is like the boat guy special.
This is one of my favorite animes of all time.
Mhm.
And I'm sure at one point or another, some of us have wanted to name our future offspring after fictional characters. We're still waiting on that Optimus Prime Beltron. One of these days, I'm sure. Anyway.
That was the name of
So-
my dog.
There you go.
Okay, so
When he has a daughter, it's gonna be Starscream.
Huh.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't
More like
name
Rumble.
I wouldn't name my Ford Darter that name.
Alita.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Okay,
Go ahead,
so
Tiger Lily.
sorry. An athlete, a pro footballer named
Yes, I saw this.
Joan Roman, has officially changed their name to Goku. They previously played for Manchester City and Barcelona. Now he's going by the name Goku. As to why the athlete chose to change his name, Roman shared insight into his reasoning online. He says that the name Goku really aligns with his values and goals. So basically, he wants to be a really bad dad and
Yeah, absentee father.
abandon his responsibilities for training.
And let Piccolo raise his kid for him.
Yeah, let a green alien raise his kids for him. So that's great goals. Really, it is.
And
Very
then
nice.
knock your wife up during the Cell games and then dying and leaving her to be a single mother.
And basically being roped into marriage when you thought marriage was food.
That's one way to have a football career. But hey, his FIFA rating can be over 9,000.
Good one.
Okay, and then that expands on this. So he said, he said, I'm grateful to Joan for everything I lived and the positive things and lessons that have given me. But now I'm Goku. I chose that name because I feel identified with its values and what it represents to me, which is perseverance, empathy, growth against obstacles, light, and positivity. I only ask to respect my decision as many people are already doing. Always moving forward, I sent you all much love.
Well, congratulations, Goku, on the name change. And
Goku Roman.
Is it Goku Roman or is it just Goku?
Goku Roman.
Ramen? Oh, because Goku
God,
Ramen just
that'd
sounds
be
like
racist.
good for business.
Mm-hmm. Well, what does the kit say? That's what I need to know. What's his football kit say? I would imagine it just says Goku because they can have single names there.
Probably going to be Goku.
I would think the back of his jersey would say Son Goku, which would be appropriate. But yeah, so I don't know whether to be geek out about that because that's cool, or just dumbfounded because it's weird. But hey, I'm all for that DBZ fandom. I've been a part of it for many, many years. But everyone knows Vegeta's the better dad.
Really? You're comparing an absentee father to an abusive father? Really?
Okay, we'll agree with Piccolo because Piccolo's always there when you need him.
Piccolo's the cool uncle. Mm-hmm.
He's like a grumpy big bear on the outside, but he's a very soft teddy bear on the inside.
So me. Great. Just great.
Yeah.
Sarah wants to know, is there any more news, Mike?
Oh, there's plenty of news. Plenty of news out there.
Okay, I guess my news isn't appreciated here because my name is not on
Nice.
the screen there. So just ignore my awesome Goku news and my Lego holiday special news.
No, it was totally good.
Liked it very much.
I was cool with it. I will say this though, you are right about it being the Wither special because this is all right up his alley right here.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Is this going to be Ryu news now? Have they upgraded uppercuts in Super Turbo?
Huh. That's next. Well, Tiger Lily, I do have some news for you.
Taco Bell? Did you find
It is not Taco Bell, but for whatever reason, the company that is known as Dunkin' Donuts, they are on a tear because we've talked about some of their new products in the past couple of weeks, but man,
Star Wars Holiday Special Donuts?
you're not far off because Dunkin' is taking a spicy trend and making it sweet with the introduction of the new spicy ghost pepper donut.
Ghost pepper donuts.
Yes, a ghost pepper donut. I don't understand this. I don't know
Me
about
either.
my donut being spicy, but this is a thing now.
Anything can be spicy if you try really hard.
This is true. Let's see here. This new
Spicy
surprising
donut.
offering from the donut chain is available starting yesterday, October
Well, guys,
14th.
I'm getting off.
Yeah.
I mean, gonna get a dozen of those.
Yeah.
Deliver them all to Mount Beltran.
Maybe
Watch
Uh-huh.
them cry.
some of them might be half eaten, but
I mean, I
okay.
might try one. Just say I've done it, but I don't know about a spicy donut. But it is available from yesterday
Let
all
me
the way
run you
to
some
December.
Louisiana red hot sauce over there to put on top as well, just to make it complete.
I like spicy food. I'm all in on
Louisiana,
spicy
yes.
food.
Mhm.
But I don't know about something that is meant to be sweet. It's supposed to be spicy.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Sweet and
have you
spicy
never
can
had
go well.
Mexican candy?
Well, yes, I have. That's I
How
don't
about-
see
How about
I think that's
candied
different than that.
jalapenos? Have you had that?
candied jalapeno.
Delicious.
I don't know about
Jalapeno
that.
jelly. I'm telling you, it's a thing, and it's tasty. It is tasty when it's done well. They used to have a stand at the Scarborough Fair that was constantly selling candied peppers of different type. Like it would be like pickled and jelly. It was absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Hey, I will pay good money to see Mike B on a Friday on screen to do the one chip challenge.
Oh man,
I
Oh,
would
what
love
chips do you
to
put
see
in
that.
front of them?
I've done something similar to that long ago. Here's another Foot Locker story for you.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Here's one for you. So, I tell you exactly. When I was 19, okay, I was the
So like
stockroom
50
guy.
years ago.
Shut up. I was, in the
Gotta
back
have
stock room,
Video of the late 50s.
and this actually happened around the time this video was taken.
Boy.
But one of my good friends at the time named John, that he and I would run the stock, and he was from LA, and he had that Ice Cube LA accent, man. It was fun to always talking with him. Anyways, I remember somebody had went and got Williams Chicken for lunch, and had it in the break room area. And I'm 19, right? So I don't have that much money on me or anything like that. So I was like, man, I need some extra cash for the weekend. And John was like, hey, Mike, how about you get one of these peppers, eat it whole, and I'll give you $10.
Oh my god.
I'm like, $10? Man, I go a long way this weekend. I'm in.
That's 1956 $10 too, which really went far.
So I took, and Williams Chicken, like, every now and then, they're known for, like, some big jalapeno peppers. I mean, they're huge.
Yeah.
Sometimes. This one was rather huge, and he picked the biggest one out of the bag, and I was like, here. And he said it like Ice Cube, here. I'm like, all right, cool. And what made it better, he was like 6'8", and like 300 pounds. 6'8", 300 pounds, so that made it even better. You know what I mean? Just to set the visual up. But so I took it, man, and it was just me and him in the back, and we had a vending machine with waters and cokes and stuff like that were $1 each, and I had like 5 $1 bills in my wallet. Keep that in mind.
Mhm.
So I put it all in my mouth, chewed it up, swallowed it, and within seconds, I got those $5 bills out of my wallet and started getting waters from the vending machine and just downing waters like nothing. That thing killed me. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. And
Butter,
shortly,
man. Butter.
well,
Secret.
we didn't have any of that. There was no milk, none of this other stuff.
Oh
It was
no.
Oh my goodness.
just, I mean, we're
Amateur
at
hour over at the Beltran Estates.
we're at Foot Locker. I mean, we're kind of limited on kitchen supplies.
Go to
You're at-
go to the
There's no
food
food
You're
court.
at a
court?
retail
What the heck?
store.
Court.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
This is
I got the $10, right? It was well worth it. But then 30 minutes later, I had to clock out for about an hour.
oh no.
Jeez.
But
Yeah.
I was back on the job and within the hour, so everything was good.
How much did it hurt coming out, Mike?
Very
God.
much. Very. It hurt a lot. Oh man. So yes, that's true. That actually happened around the time that when this video was taken. That is a true story.
If you aren't familiar with the one chip challenge, it's really literally just one chip, and it's doused. I guess it's doused. Whatever. The flavor is technically the Carolina Reaper pepper, which is, I think, is supposedly the hottest pepper known to man. But it's one chip, and that's all you need, because apparently you'll die.
Don't die. Let's not kill him.
But I've seen it in grocery stores.
He's an old man. He's got a weak heart.
Yeah, so there you go, Sarah. I have done similar to a jalapenos eating contest. Similar. I've had one, and it killed me.
God.
So there you go.
I have some free play notes and news I can go over.
Oh, go for it.
Let's see. Tonight we have, I mentioned this earlier, but the Third Strike Boys of Fort Worth are getting together at Free Play Fort Worth. It's actually open. They're making a concerted effort to go out there. So Eddie will be out there. Johnny will be out there. I'm thinking about going myself, to be honest with you. Saturday, more Jägermeister, Big Buck Hunter stuff going. I hear word of some players meeting Saturday at Free Play Richardson to play the fighting games there. So if you feel fighting games on either county, in Fort Worth or Richardson on Saturday night. Also,
let's see. How should I say this for Richardson Saturday? I'll put it to you like this. If you're near Richardson Saturday, or if you feel like going to Richardson Saturday, consider doing it. I will leave it at that.
Awful mysterious there from you, Mike. But
basically.
Yes, consider doing it.
From unnamed sources say maybe you want to go to Free Play Richardson on Saturday night.
Yes.
I myself won't be able to be there, but for any festivities that may happen, rumored happen, I'll cut a video or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotta send something that way. Sunday we have Ferris Bueller's Day Off at 8 p.m. on the rooftop of Free Play Fort Worth, and the new Jackbox Party Pack 7. I'm downloading it right now, and we're going to play it on top of the rooftop. What could possibly go wrong with Quiplash 3 on the rooftop of Free Play Fort Worth after Ferris Bueller's over? Monday, we have King of Fighters 98 at Free Play Richardson.
Ooh, yeah.
2 versus Cities, 2 copies of KOF 98. This is how I plan to do it. I got to do the game show, the live matching game, here in the Free Play Away Game Studios, 8 to 9 p.m. I'll be here like 15 minutes early, but I'll be at Free Play Richardson playing King of Fighters 98 before that, and then the moment that show ends, I'm hitting the button, and I'm running right back to the arcade, and we're playing some more King of Fighters 98. So I'll be there Monday.
Yes, sounds good.
With about an hour and a half delay for a game show, but that's it. Tuesday, we'll have Third Strike. Wednesday, Wrestling Wednesday. And big events coming up. The 23rd, Friday the 23rd, we have a Denton Halloween at Free Play Richardson. Get your tickets now. Dang it, I wanted to get the link to the post. Of course, I missed that one. But yes, a lot of the Denton players are coming out to have a Denton-themed party at Free Play Richardson Friday, October 23rd. It's the first of our Halloween gatherings. We're also having other ones at the other locations. I'll hit those later at another date. And also, Corey posted a State of the Arcade post yesterday. A bit bleak, but always a good read. I actually really, really like seeing Corey's writing. It's one of the first things I experienced when it comes to free play. In fact, it was. I discovered free play at the Alamo Drafthouse Richardson event for Pixels, I want to say. Wasn't watching that movie. I was watching another movie, but there was an arcade there. It led me to the website, and I read a lot of Corey's writing just like this. He's really forthcoming when he makes these long posts, so there you go. Corey's State of the Arcade. I believe that's what I got as far as free play news and notes. Oh, I got this one. Do you have another story? I got the Wrestling Wednesday wrap up as well. If you guys want to hit that, but
please
story.
Let me hit that.
you need me to do another story? I got another story.
Yeah, okay. I was giving you an opportunity because Wrestling Wednesday wrap up makes a natural transition to Nerd Side of the Ring. So
Okay, well, how about I do some birthdays?
All right.
Yay.
All right, so I just got a couple,
Mhm.
and we'll get into the Wrestling Wednesday here.
What-
Um,
What's their name? Are they a monogamous couple?
singer Tito Jackson.
Ooh.
Tito, give me some tissue. Turned 67 today.
67?
Yeah, 67. Oh my god.
Wow.
Getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Let's see
Goodness.
here.
It's nice, but not as nice as it could be.
Yeah.
Right. Not as nice as it could be. Also, man, my goodness. Well, if you got any ponies out there, Genuine turns 50.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel old.
Yeah, I know. I was like, man. Keisha Cole turns 39. Let's see here. Keep going.
Is this hip hop with Mike B? Because I kind of like this one.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I do
Yeah,
too.
sign up
Just
for
so
this.
happens. Yeah, just so happens. Right? Let's see here. Let me just keep looking here real quick. Oh, let's see. One more. Okay. Today would have been the birthday of. Uh-oh. Let's see here. There it is. Penny Marshall.
Oh,
Of,
Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley. Yes.
Yeah. Director of League of Their Own
Mm-hmm.
and many other
Ooh.
movies. Thelma and Louise, did she do that one?
I don't know.
Dang
I'm
it,
not
Mike.
too sure on that one. I never saw Thelma and Louise, so.
That's not helping.
Uh-huh. Yes. But that'll do it for birthdays.
I have a birthday.
Oh.
Yes? Tiger Lily?
It's my big brother Steven's
Hey!
birthday today.
Way.
That's Mav Panda 85, right?
Yeah. That's
There you
Happy
go.
birthday, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
For me up on Facebook because I don't have a notification of that one.
Mm.
I also have some birthdays in the community. It's Uriel's 27th birthday, Killer Queen player. Also celebrating a birthday, Patrick Scott Patterson, the commentator for the Qbert challenge that I won at Let's Play Game Expo, among many other things.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's it. We'll have more birthdays tomorrow, I'm sure.
I have an anniversary
Ooh,
also.
okay.
This happened yesterday actually, but I barely saw it today.
Mhm.
Of course, I would report this. 19 years ago, Degrassi premiered.
Oh,
Nice.
Jesus.
These are the hard-hitting news stories that we want to hear from you, Tiger Lily.
The teen Canadian drama that I fell in love with, that I marathon about every 2 months. I will marathon all 14, 15 seasons
Now, do you watch?
in about a week.
Do you watch the
And if y'all
episode, or
don't
do you
know-
skip the episode where Drake gets shot?
I watch every episode.
Oh, okay.
Every single episode. But yeah, if y'all don't know, I'll Be Graham, aka Drake, is originally from that show. It is my favorite teen drama of all time. I can watch that all the time.
So that's a good question that you didn't actually ask, Tiger Lily. Mike B, what's your favorite teen drama of all time?
Oh, Beverly Hills.
Man, I wasn't really a fan of that one.
Melrose Place.
No, not that one either. You know what? I really didn't have one.
Volume off, Saved by the Bell.
I
Saved
mean,
by the Fresh
if-
Prince.
it may be Saved by the Bell, but that wasn't really a drama. But I'll take it. You know, maybe when
Step by Step.
Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't.
Ooh,
that was-
Give me the first season of Dawson's Creek. I watched that whole thing.
Same.
Gilmore Girls.
I got some parodies that you can listen to for Dawson's Creek and Gilmore Girls, but
Oh my god.
that would have to be for off air.
Yeah, you're probably right. Don't want to give everybody AIDS.
Yeah. That's,
Wait, what?
Yeah,
It's a long story. It's a long story.
Long story. Long story.
Oh
Long story.
goodness.
Oh man. Well, shall we get into wrestling?
Wrestling
Almost. We
Wednesday.
have some calls.
Oh yeah.
We
As if y'all
always
didn't-
allocate time to
As
work
if y'all
of the day
didn't
at the beginning
spam the
of
chat
wrestling.
enough. I saw Nigel's suggestion, an hour long word of the day.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Holy cow. I've had too many words with Angela lately. There we go.
Pick a good one.
Running low on them. To ask her for another one.
You should
This
open a
sounds
dictionary
dirty.
if anyone still owns dictionaries.
Oh,
Just flip through it, pick a random word.
this one's sweet, Mike. You'll like this one. Maybe.
So it's
I don't know
about
if
me.
this one applies to you, Mike, but here you go. While he looks up that site, actually I should wait for it. I don't want to hit the recap of yesterday before we finish off the word of the day. I will say this is the Angela Beard, Dr. Angela Beard, aka Gori Midori, word of the day. She is a clinical psychologist who joins us quite frequently, though it hasn't been frequently as of late, but definitely during our stay-at-home period. She was on the show every single day. Many time panelists on the live matching game. She's hilarious. She formerly of the Dallas Derby Devils. There's really not much she can't do, but what she's doing now is expanding our vocabulary one word a day at a time. We only do it when we hear from the audience, from the chat, that they want the word of the day. Of course, many people have asked for it today, so here it is. And the one thing she doesn't provide is a pronunciation. So, Mike, what's our word of the day?
Well, this is a noun. Damn silent letters. I know they're in here.
Where are they hiding?
Damn those silent letters.
Where are they hiding?
All right, the word is inophil.
Whoa, what was that?
Inophil.
Let's see what Merriam-Webster has to say about this.
Enophile.
Not the worst pronunciation we've had from you. What's it mean?
Onophile?
Enophile.
It is
Enophile.
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 Yes, enophile.
a lover or connoisseur of wine.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that you,
It's
Mike?
me. That's me.
It's me.
Man,
Oh,
you know
wow.
what?
The enophiles are coming out of the woodwork.
You know what? I haven't had any.
Enophile.
Man, I haven't had wine in I don't know how long, man.
Oh, well,
You know?
just need to saunter over to the Free Play Away Game Studios because I'm not drinking this stuff. There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This one's for
I've
you, Mike.
had wine at Free Play, and people always look at me weird when I get that. Because no one drinks the wine there. But me.
Oh, Chris, yes. The Owenophiles want to go now and drink some of that. Great.
Oh.
I'll see you guys over at the Free Play Away Game Studios.
Y'all want to know the term for a book lover? Bibliophile.
Very nice. Very nice. You
I
can
feel like there
learn-
should be an X-Files theme song attached
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have wine over there, Chris?
Yeah.
How'd you get that?
Yeah.
I'll
House-
link you to my
household.
favorite episode of Mike B News ever, and then you'll know.
Oh, all right.
Oh boy.
Sarah wants to know what kind of wine is it.
Red.
Never mind.
I mean, this
Keep
is
it.
the label. Let's see.
Red.
Dornfelder
Red
wine
wines.
from Germany.
Oh, German wine. Mm.
All right.
nice,
Everybody who's been over approves. Although it might just be that I have, one offering. So it's
You have cats.
better
You have
than
two.
do I
You have
two-
three.
Wait,
There
the
you go.
cats don't drink wine.
No, I'm just not that. That's not what I meant.
We'll cover the Owenophiles another day.
Mm.
But for now,
Yeah.
Chris, would you like to let people know here on Nerd Side of the Ring how Wrestling Wednesday went last night?
Yes.
yes.
So it was a good one. Wrestling Wednesday last night, 7 p.m. Free Play Richardson, as we do it every Wednesday. NXT and AEW wrestling on the wall. I did not get to see much of it, so I'm going to have to listen intently during Nerd Side of the Ring to hear how those programs went. But I will say, for the first time in a long time, Free Play champion of everything, Dylan Smith, made a reappearance and was going at it at
Awesome.
virtually every contest we had.
Mm-hmm.
He did everything but put on a Mike B style wig and compete in the women's ST event. And maybe even more shockingly is he didn't end the night as any of the champions. He's won tournaments at virtually every game we've done on Wrestling Wednesday, but it was not the case this time. Darth Jose successfully defends his world championship against D Owls. Ms. Mejia has another dominant performance as the Intercontinental ST champion, defeating the aforementioned Dylan Smith. We had myself and Tiger Lily going undefeated once again at Killer Queen. How's your Killer Queen gaming coming along there, Tiger Lily?
Swimmingly.
Good enough to hold the belt. Speaking
Yes.
of holding the belt, Tiger Lily 92 continues to reign supreme in the women's ST division. Shannon and putting in a lot of work.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how excited I was for her to be back. And we practiced so much. And she's really getting better. And I love that, it's not like getting too much harder to play against her, but I do like that she's starting to figure out, how to counter me.
Yes.
And that makes for a very worthy opponent.
Mhm.
And also, I love that I'm getting the hooligan down on
Right,
the
that's what
man.
I'm noticing. That's what
Oh
I'm
my
seeing is that,
God.
she's clearly elevating her game, learning it, but grinding it out with you, you're elevating your game as well. It's happening in the most organic of ways that I've been
Yes.
waiting so long to see.
Yes.
So a lot of excitement in the ST women's division with Ms. Mejia winning the IC championship and being on a tirade outside of the division, and Tiger Lily continuing her reign supreme. Pac-Man Battle Royale, D Owls defends his title there.
That was. Can I just tell you how crazy it was that we broke the machine for a few seconds?
Oh yes.
What?
So
You didn't hear that noise?
yeah, there was
That sounded like a garbage disposal. I remember that noise.
There was a qualifier for the last spot. I gifted Mike a spot because he always says he's good at Pac-Man. Dylan got in there because, I wanted to see Dylan play. D Owls, of course, the defending champion. I had room for one more spot. We had a player walk away before the completion of the event, so I jumped in there for the last round and played my typical one-handed style, hand in my pocket, and was able to catch Tiger Lily in the loop at the top and bottom of the screen where you bounce them back and forth as the speed increases.
We broke the space-time continuum.
Right, and if you do it just right, you'll infinitely bounce off of each other until the speed picks up, and then the two models will stick, and you hear this loud sound.
Oh.
You may have heard it before, just in the theater or in the arcade, and thought, "Wow, Pac-Man's broken." It's not broken; it's glitched. But you can intentionally do it if you time the bounces correctly. And we literally just stuck there in our models for about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Waiting.
And then I won.
Yeah. The ghost randomly came up and ate my side of the Pac-Man sandwich before Tiger Lily's side, and she won, qualifying and getting into that big, massive melee with which actually went all the full distance, right? You guys all
It
had
did.
one win.
We all had one win.
Yeah.
After a while.
Very exciting on Pac-Man. Deathball champ D Owls continues to reign supreme. He's got a number one contender, Nigel's Neverland. He's gonna face him off for the title next Wednesday. Mario Brothers, nothing important there. SNK didn't actually happen, and I do have to give an apology.
Technically, it did, but it was a dark
Technically,
match, so no one saw it.
It was off stream.
Oh, it was a dark match.
Stream.
Well, you tell
Yeah,
me who won. I'll
streaming
put the title holder right here.
I did.
I did.
There's
Oh no!
All right, conflicting
You lost 3 straight,
reports.
Tiger Lily.
Conflicting reports. We're gonna have to solve this one next Wrestling Wednesday. The SNK champion.
I'll take my house show circuit title. That's fine. I'm okay with knowing that I won 3 straight against Tiger Lily last night, while I was trying to find a third.
So who keeps getting caught in my Roberto kick of death?
You lost.
Doesn't know how to get past it.
Doesn't matter. You still lost.
And Mike's the champion of Mario Brothers. All right, so I guess with
Without
that,
further ado, we can just segue right into Nerd Side of the Ring. Thank you everybody for tuning in. As always, myself, Mike B, Chris, Lauren, hopefully Jesse, KP pops back on.
I'm back on.
I'll,
Hi.
hey KP.
Kim.
Hey,
So,
Lauren.
I am going to lead off with what might be a hot take. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I thought that was the worst AEW show I've seen in a long time. And I'm not apologizing for it. It was drab. It was boring. The women's match was disappointing, to say the least. The best thing about it was the draw. Chris Cassidy. Sorry, Chris. Had
No
last
worries.
night
Thanks.
versus Cody. And other than that, nothing really, as much as I love Eddie Kingston, nothing really stuck out to me that was memorable aside from that one match.
It was their anniversary show, and I think just before you got there, NXT was on the main screen, and I had Chris change it to AEW on the main screen just because it was indeed their anniversary show. I think had it not been for that, it would have remained on NXT, and the laptop would have had AEW on. So I figured, well, this is supposed to be a bigger show. Let's put it on the main screen, and I'm kind of I won't say it was the worst AEW show, but I was expecting more for it being
At least interesting.
Yeah, I was expecting more for it to be their anniversary show, like at least a title change. We had a tag team title match. I in the grand scheme of things, I didn't think the Best Friends would beat FTR for the titles. But something like that happening on an anniversary show would have, cemented the show indeed being
make it a
billed as an anniversary show. Yeah, for the occasion, right? Or at least even the TNT title changing hands. Now,
if Orange Cassidy wanted the TNT title, he needed to nearly kill himself and drop dead in the middle of the ring. That's the only way you win a title in wrestling, I've learned.
Right, yeah. Now they have a rematch coming in 2 weeks, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. But it was just kind of your normal, just AEW show, which it was okay, right? I mean, that's just it. It was okay. There were some fun parts in it, and that was about it. Probably for me the most entertaining part was just the MJF promo segment with Chris Jericho and his jacket that he gave Sammy Guevara, which was like a 5X, didn't fit him, arms were too long, I mean, stuff like that, right? I mean, that, you have your funny parts, and that was good, I was also, if there was one thing I was expecting to happen, which didn't, it was Orange Cassidy winning the TNT title, but the plot twist that made it, surprising for me was indeed that something that hadn't happened in years was a quote-unquote television title being defended and the time limit draw occurring. That was actually kind of good because you hadn't seen that
Exactly.
in years. A time limit draw for what's basically their version of the TV title. The TV
Is
titles
there
back
always
then.
a time limit?
Pretty much, yeah. There's
I've never seen that happen.
Yeah.
The
I was really
concept
confused.
at least used to be it was the last match of the night. If I'm not mistaken, the television title. It was the last match of the night, so they have to get off the air at a hard time, and
Okay.
whenever that time hit, it's over.
It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and then, in which case here this happened in the middle of the show, so they had a 20-minute time limit. The TV title back then used to be 10 minutes long for their matches, but this one here was 20, and they went the whole way, and wouldn't you have it, but Orange Cassidy was 1 second away from winning. He could have won had there been more time on the clock. But that is the beauty of wrestling. When you just look at it from that angle, you get a rematch 2 weeks later, and you see what will happen then. Right? But
We actually almost had this occur twice yesterday at Wrestling Wednesday, where it went down to the final round. One of the ST competitions went down to a final round. I think it may have been the Intercontinental one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one it was.
Sandra's?
Yeah, I think so. But one of them went down to a final round, including a draw, and the Pac-Man Battle Royale went to a final round, including a draw. So the title cannot change hands for the sake of a draw. So it would just the champion would remain champion if that's the case. We just get the steel cage out next week.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it was it was an okay show. I definitely enjoyed it. I was maybe hoping for like another debut or something like that to happen on the anniversary show, but it didn't happen. But hey, it was fine. I was expecting more, but I still enjoyed it. I'm trying to see when is the next pay per view. Gosh, when's their next pay per view? It's in November, right? November.
Full Gear, I believe, is in
Full
November.
Gear. Yeah. So if anything, they're probably going to start setting up matches for Full Gear coming up soon. Now, probably starting next week, I'm guessing, since the anniversary show's over. So, if anything, the pay per view will deliver, which it normally does. Their pay per views always deliver. Really, they're really good.
So, Kim, did you happen to watch it last night as well? You still here?
Yeah, sorry, I had to.
Oh.
I'm working, so I had to go on mute. Yeah, I did watch the show. It was great. I mean, it wasn't what I expected to be like an anniversary special or anything, but it was still good. Like, I really enjoyed Cody coming back on blonde. I didn't like him brunette, and then, but beside that, like I like the match with him and Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy doing his little shindig and on Cody, and it was fun. I mean, the weird thing is I kept asking, like, I've been asking Jesse for a while now, like, where's Kenny? And I thought Kenny's gonna show up, last night, for the anniversary. Kenny, Hangman, they weren't there. I'm just like, what's going on?
I think part of the reason is that they're getting ready for that tournament for the number one contender, so they want to keep all those people kind of off television until they get them ready for that. I guess it's a double elimination tournament to crown a number one contender for the AEW championship. So Kenny's in that, Hangman's in that, Janela, Darby Allin, etc. So that's probably a reason why you didn't see a lot of those main players last night.
I haven't seen Kenny in a while. I know Hangman's been doing a couple of matches, but Kenny has just been not doing anything. So I wonder what's going on.
You'll see a lot.
You'll see a lot. And part of the reason is that they're turning him back to his old cleaner persona from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So his first feud is going to be with Adam Page at some point. And we're going to build to that, to Mike's point, probably going to build to that for Full Gear. But I guess right now the biggest talking points are Eddie Kingston and whatever he's got going on with Jon Moxley. I think that's still filler, but still it's prevalent. And then you have Cody and Orange, which I can't wait for 2 weeks now because I actually want to see them go at it again. So they did do exactly what they intended, was to drum up more interest, because I don't foresee a title change after a week involving Cody. If it had been anybody else, I would have said, okay, maybe Orange wins it off a transitional champion. Since it's Cody and he's part of the booking committee, I didn't see that happening. So
Still weird.
I honestly thought you guys would be more mad about the arcade being, run over by best friends, and then Nero coming out really pissed off.
that's a dumb reason to start a feud, but hey, it blends both worlds of wrestling and arcade video games together. So I'm all for it.
As long as it wasn't a Versus City.
Yeah. No, don't be breaking a CRT.
Yeah, that's the last thing. You don't want to do that. The cabinets can get rebuilt, but not a CRT.
Yeah. That's further than a heel turn. But like I can't. I'm not gonna support your outfit after that.
Yeah. You know what though? I will say this about Kenny. I do think once that tournament begins, like, you're gonna get like a heavy dose of Kenny. So
All right.
if you're missing Kenny, don't worry, he's coming.
Promise.
I promise.
Mike,
He's
are you
coming.
promising me?
I promise. I promise you.
All right, clip it there.
if he breaks his promise, we gotta make him do a whole bunch of shots.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
We're gonna bring in our special shot expert Ray Upshaw to help with that.
Oh.
What was
No,
it, Mike? Was it tequila you told me?
Oh no! Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
We need to hear these. We need to hear these Foot Locker stories.
Oh yeah, no. Well, at another time, but yes.
Mike said vodka. I believe it was vodka.
Yeah, that night. Yeah, that night. You know, I was on vodka, so that night. Anyways, well, but yeah, NXT though. NXT, solid wrestling from start to finish. Chris, man, this happened at the end of NXT. Damian, you walked away, and like I was left all alone watching the very, very end, and like I'm looking around, like trying to find someone to, join in on my excitement. But Halloween Havoc, NXT Halloween Havoc is coming up in a couple of weeks, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And the host is Shotzi Blackheart, okay, as we mentioned before.
She's got a costume for sure.
That's right. Well, guess what, Chris?
She hit someone with a tank.
Well, no, not yet.
Oh.
Not
Spoilers,
yet, but
spoilers.
she has a tank, yes. But, of course, there's been some shenanigans going on with Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest, as well as Candice LeRae and Shotzi herself. So here's what happened. Since she's the host and she's kind of running the show, the match between Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest will now be decided by spin the wheel, make the deal, Chris.
Ooh.
It is back.
Oh, wow.
Spin the
Yes.
wheel, make the deal.
Yes, I'm looking around and like Andre Dobbs is like looking at me, freaking out, like somebody hug me, and I'm just like not everybody's at death ball. I'm like, damn it, But yeah, spin the wheel, make the deal is back. Now, Damien, a little backstory here. A long time ago, it's been some years
I'll
now,
look
but in
for
the
it.
early days, in the early days of free play, me and Chris were coming up with ideas to do, for Tuesday Night Fights and all these other things, and I forgot how the idea of picking a random game was brought up, but I was like, well. Jake the Snake Roberts and Sting had a match back in WCW where, it was basically spin the wheel, make the deal, where you have different types of matches on a wheel. You spin it, and that's the type of match you get. Well, we started doing that for certain Tuesday Night Fights where a lot of the fighting games were put on the wheel. That wheel that you see.
Fighters.
Yeah, the Wheel of Fighters. That's where it came from. Wheel of
Oh.
Fighters came from spin the wheel, make the deal.
At least the promo did.
Yes, at least the promo did. So, sure enough, it's back, Chris. It's back. Spin the wheel, make the deal is back, and I am ready. And I do believe also this will be happening for Candice LeRae and Io Shirai's match also for the Women's NXT Championship. So the wheel will be in place twice. And
Sorry, I have to go, guys, but I'll be listening.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
But yes, I am all set. My body is ready for spin the wheel, make the deal. I can't believe it. It's back, and oh man, it's
Mike,
so good.
refresh my memory, but didn't
Uh-huh.
the spin the wheel lead to a coal miner's glove match or something like that in WCW?
Oh gosh, what did happen on that? I think it did. Oh my gosh, I'd have to go back and check. But let's see here. I'm trying to think how many times the spin the wheel's been done. I think Bischoff did it a couple times when he was general manager of Raw. I think.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So it's only been done, if anything, less than 5 times, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So, and since at least since the '90s, right? Since the first time it happened. So, yeah, it's back, man, and I'm ready for it.
I'll keep looking for that promo, that classic promo of ours, and we'll close the show with that.
Okay.
Actually, it's
all
a
right.
good question to ask everybody in the chat here. If you were wrestling a match and you were going to spin the wheel, what kind of match would you hope would pop up, and what kind of match would you not want to see pop up for you specifically if you were going to wrestle in the match?
Well, it just would depend on what's on it, basically. You know, you just
Yeah.
kind of have to gauge and see what would
I would
favor
love
you
a
and what
cage
wouldn't.
match.
You know, um, like I think for me, maybe one thing I wouldn't want to be a part of would be something like a tuxedo match where you had to strip me down.
No evening gown matches for Mike.
Yeah, none of that for me. You know,
Dog collar match.
there you go.
No, I don't.
There
That's the
you go.
weirdest thing I've ever seen from last week. I didn't know.
No,
what
then
to-
you haven't seen Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
Oh.
You need to watch that.
What?
Yeah, that's a long story. You can look that one up yourself. Yeah, that was fun. That was
It's
fun. Well,
Russo.
yeah. Well, Chris, also the draft, the WWE draft wrapped up, Chris,
Mhm.
and we have new.
So, is it decided where are you going, Mike?
I'm not going anywhere, but you know what? I almost called it on almost every move that happened.
It's as
Remember
if,
how I mentioned?
it's as if
remember how I
wrestling
mentioned
is
that-
predetermined.
Yes. Remember how I mentioned that you could have certain champions just straight up switch? That's
Uh-huh.
exactly
Mhm.
what happened with the Street Profits. And in this case here, the New Day being the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions Friday night. They both got drafted to the other show.
Mhm.
So Monday came and they literally swapped championship belts.
Braided belts, yes. Mhm.
Yes. I was like,
Okay.
man, yeah. So that actually did happen. The Fiend did go to Raw. Okay, that happened. Let's see, what else did? I think there was a couple other things that I thought that probably would happen that did. Well, Kevin Owens went to SmackDown. You know, you didn't have a lot of shaking up per se, but you know, a lot of people who have been on Raw or SmackDown the past few weeks are still there. Hurt Business, they're still on Raw. You know, but yes, the actual swapping of champions did happen, and they literally did swap titles. So
Mm.
the previous tag team champions were Nakamura and Cesaro. So the New Day came back. Xavier Woods came back from injury Friday night and teamed up with Kofi, and you know they won the titles. And then right after that, they get drafted to Raw. Ironically enough, though, it should be noted that the New Day are technically broken up because Big E got drafted to SmackDown. So Big
And
E
you
is
had
no longer
previously
with.
said that he was going to get promoted as it is, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were thinking, you know, like he's going to be pushed as a singles wrestler now.
Yeah.
But you know, which in theory that could have still happened while part of New Day, but alas, New Day is officially on Raw and Big E is by himself on SmackDown. So
To be clear, they're still saying they are the New Day. They're just on different shows, so they haven't broken up the New Day. They're just it's basically like two members of a team go to different shows, but they're still a unit. They're still together.
yes,
There's no heel turn. Nobody went through a window. Nobody dumped dog food on each other to facilitate a breakup. They're just going their own separate ways. And I will say this much, Chris.
Mhm.
If you watch the scene where the New Day gets drafted to Raw and you see Xavier Woods, he says out loud, say Big E's name, because they literally only said Kofi and Xavier. And he keeps saying, you didn't mention Big E, and you could just see their faces of disappointment and sadness. And even though it's predetermined, they sold it like they didn't know it was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and they looked so dejected and sad and frustrated. And if you watched Raw, I think it's Raw Talk, they briefly touched on this, and Big E goes, since when has WWE ever made any sense in terms of its booking, as an offhanded comment in response to them being broken up, which I found fascinating. Or sometimes, depending on your stance in the company, you can basically get away with saying whatever you want without repercussion. I don't see that being a problem for Big E, but they sold it as if they had just found out that minute the team was breaking up.
Interesting. Well, they've always been like, well, in the last 5 years, that they've been the most interesting
Yes.
wrestlers for me to hear about. Like that's I didn't care for years and years, and then I heard about what the New Day was doing, and whenever they would come to town, Mike would tell me about it. My friend Sarah met Xavier, who's been to Free Play, I believe. So yeah,
his
they have
people's
the wrestling crew and like the wrestling cred and the nerd cred, and I love it. I see them on like getting write-ups for appearing on Raw or whatever with the Final Fantasy music in the background. Like, it's all good.
So a little fun fact about Xavier, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this week, I was chatting with Ham. Hambone over in South Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he told me for one, he's coming up on the 30th, so he'll be at the party.
All right, Xavier Woods will be here on the 30th.
No.
From
Ham.
Mike B.
Ham is coming. But
and he's bringing ham.
No, but while me and Ham were talking, he shot me a picture of Xavier Woods at Ham's Arcade when he owned it at the time from just a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, Xavier Woods was there. And I asked him how did that happen? And there was a house show over in Hidalgo, Texas. And Xavier Woods simply tweeted out, Hidalgo, where's the arcades at? And someone replied, Critical Hit Arcade. And sure enough, he showed up. So it's like, wow, that's cool. And if you're not familiar with Hidalgo, Texas, Damien, this is a very small city, very, very small city, town in South Texas. Like, just, like, it's probably the size of Richardson, like, total. You know what I mean? Like, just Richardson by itself. And, that actually happened. So I was like, man, that's cool. There's Xavier Woods. One thing I would like to bring up real quick, we can go a little bit past 1:30, just FYI. But one of the things that I loved looking at as a kid, Damien, I'm sure you're right there with me too, is the Pro Wrestling Illustrated 500.
Yep, I was just going to bring that up, Mike. Thank you for pointing that out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's how you know we're on the same wavelength, man. Like it's almost like we're blood brothers already. But Chris, Pro Wrestling Illustrated is a long time publication, and every year,
like
they
the
would
Dallas
put
Cowboys
out their,
Weekly.
sort of. You're not too far off. Every month they would put out a nice magazine, and it would all be in kayfabe, right? Basically, like articles on why is Ric Flair doing this to Kerry Von Erich, and all this stuff. It would just be stories like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they would have rankings in the magazine, like from every promotion, right? Their own individual rankings and stuff. And I used to love looking at these rankings. Well,
a pound
they would
for
do
pound list.
Well, like you would have champion, like for example, Hulk Hogan, number 1 contender, the Intercontinental Champion, Ultimate Warrior, and then number 2, Ted DiBiase, right? It would just go like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they would do a top 500, and recently, I think it was last month, Jon Moxley was number 1 on the men's side, and this month they put out the women's top 500, and Bayley is number 1.
Top 100, Mike.
Top 100. She is ranked number 1 women's wrestler in the world. And 500 meaning, yes, they list 500 female wrestlers.
100.
Likewise for the males Mike. Too. Yes, 500 male wrestlers.
100, Mike.
I mean 500, 100, whatever it is. Why am I saying 500?
The women only had a top 100 ranking.
Yes.
I was gonna say like 500.
I'm getting my numbers mixed up, but yes, you get the idea.
Mike's had too much of this red wine over here.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's pretty cool how they have, number 1, the women's top 100 now.
So I can tell you the top 5 right now. It's Bayley, Becky, Asuka, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks.
There you go.
So
I think Carlos would have a problem with her being that low on the list.
Probably.
The 4
That's why
horsewomen.
he's not
and
appearing
Asuka.
on this show out of protest.
Yeah.
Is this ranking in terms of wins or just
Overall
popularity?
Yeah, I mean they take a lot of things into consideration, but yes, Impact is kind of like number 1, right? Who's had the most impact? Of course, if you've won titles or have maintained your title, your championship reign, You know, like a lot of those things they take from the actual like kayfabe side of wrestling,
Mhm.
and they, you know, put it all together, and then there you go. So, and of course, like it goes on, right? I mean, you know, the further down the list you go, you'll see a bunch of people who you know, you probably never heard of, but they take into account like everybody from all over, everywhere. You know what I mean? Like literally.
Yeah.
So it, you know, like they'll list people like locally. Like matter of fact, Axon Jackson, he's been in the PWI 500 before. You know, from here in Texas. So he's been in it, right? So, you know, it's pretty cool. Those things are pretty cool to look at, and I used to enjoy looking at them as a kid. So I might even pick up these 2 issues and check them out to see, you know, how things have changed since the last time I've checked out the top 500 and 100.
I actually have the top 10 in front of me right now. So
Yeah, go for it.
So we have Bailey at number 1, Becky Lynch at number 2, Asuka number 3, 4 is Charlotte Flair, 5 is Sasha Banks, 6 is AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida, number 7 Tessa Blanchard. That's an interesting ad. Number 8 former Women's Champion at AEW Riho. Number 9 current NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai. At number 10 Mayu Iwatani from Japan, who has been over Stardom and all over multiple promotions in Japan. That rounds up the PWI top 10 for women's wrestlers in 2020, with the new edition being released probably later next week for the full list. Or you could just go on Reddit and somebody's probably put it up there by now. So
Mike says,
with
what's
that
Reddit?
being said, Mike,
Mhm.
that being said, the fact that Shida is top 6, Riho is top 8, so the 2 longest reigning AEW women's champions are in the top 10. So that's an interesting breakdown, considering that we've often been disappointed by AEW's women's division on one hand. On the other hand, it shows us that Joshi wrestling is a lot more appreciated in terms of the websites and the magazines and such, more so than AEW's American women. That's an interesting little parallel.
Yeah, well, I mean, quite frankly, those are, I mean, overall, they're more seasoned veteran wrestlers. So, they've been applying their craft mostly in Japan for, much longer than some of the AEW current women's roster is. And I mean, that it is evident when you watch the matches and stuff with them. So, I have no problems with that at all. I mean, yeah, of course, the past 2 champions should be in the top 10, for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And the ranking period is from November 2019 to October 2020. So that's why you see Becky, Charlotte, who haven't been on television much recently, and Tessa still featured in the top 10 because it's from last November to currently. That's the rating.
Chris, would you like the top 10 for the men?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, as mentioned, number 1, Jon Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Adam Cole, baby. Number 3, Chris Jericho.
Ooh.
Really?
Number 4, yeah. Well, I mean, he was AEW champion,
Mhm.
right? And he's been winning his matches still. So yeah, except for obviously when he lost. But other than that, Impact. Number 4, Drew McIntyre. Number 5, Naito from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Number 6, Okada from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Number 7, Cody Rhodes. Number 8, Seth Rollins. Number 9, Kofi Kingston. And number 10, AJ Styles. With Keith Lee at number 11. I like that. So, let's see here. And just to look, I have a little bit more on how they do their rankings, but of course, it goes for the 500. It was from July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020. So their criteria for the men's 500 are as follows: win-loss record, technical ability, influence on the sport, success against the highest grade of competition, success against the most diverse competition, and activity. So the year before, Seth Rollins was number 1, and John Moxley was number 20.
What do you think of that list, Damien?
I've known about this list for a while, but to be honest, a lot of people I know didn't like the fact that John Moxley was number 1. I personally agreed with it only because didn't get it. He was able to work in all 3 major promotions in terms of professional wrestling: WWE, AEW, and he even had a New Japan run. So a lot of people were mad that he was number 1 over someone like, let's say, Adam Cole or Seth Rollins. For me personally, if you're able to work in Japan and in America consistently and effectively and be a champion on all 3 brands, all 3 shows, you should be number 1. And the fact that he reinvented himself from this, at the end of his WWE run, this Banish character where he wore a gas mask on the way to the ring, talking about getting butt injections for diseases, then being a brawler in New Japan, going up against Minoru Suzuki. If you don't know who that is, Chris, please, I implore you, look up the murder grandpa known as Minoru Suzuki. As much as people give Chris Jericho all the credit in the world for still wrestling, Suzuki's 52 and still putting on high caliber matches and is in ring shape. I like The Undertaker, not like Chris Jericho, who's let themselves go a little bit. Suzuki beats the living crap out of people, and him and Moxley had a match that went about 25 minutes, and it ended with them bruised, beaten, and both put through tables. So for me, the fact that John Moxley could go from WWE to New Japan, win their mid-card title in his second match, beating Juice Robinson, and then wind up being AEW World Champion in less than a year since he went into the company, yeah, I say that warrants a number one ranking.
Yeah, I agree. I agree too. I mean, it's, he's won multiple titles in many promotions since leaving WWE. So that, to me, that I mean, I'm not sure who else would have been a good number 1. I mean, you could say Adam Cole, but John Moxley is on there. And just for the record, Chris, I mean, you can go back and look to see who's been number 1 before, but you'll have like Kenny Omega, he's been number 1 before. AJ Styles, he's been number 1 before, I think, right?
Yes.
Right? So, yeah. So I mean, to kind of still keep it along kayfabe lines. These lists are kind of fun to look at. So
if you guys don't, I know you got to leave before too long, Mike. If you don't have any more stories, I've got that classic promo.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Before that, Chris, I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I put in the chat, but GCW Collective was a independent show that took place this past weekend, Indiana. It was basically making up for all the WrestleMania weekend shows that the independents missed because of the global pandemic. So they decided to run their complete show that they would have had those 3 days in WrestleMania weekend. Indiana, the day of the show, reported a massive outbreak in corona cases and COVID cases. Day of the show. Now, in order to get on said show, you had to provide, it's like in the adult film world, you had to provide proof of a negative test within the last week to 2 weeks. Week to 2 weeks. What wound up happening was people were forging negative tests or saying that they took tests and going through PDFs and altering PDFs from fake doctors' offices so that they can get on the show. What wound up happening was some of these wrestlers came back positive for COVID-19. Didn't tell anybody until after the show was over. And that has now drummed up a bit of mistrust, distrust among the performers and also the fan base of the collective. By purposely putting people's lives at risk, even though it was an outdoor venue, because what winds up happening is they'll get tested for the show.
Mhm.
Once they leave the show, it's like when you leave the bubble in the NBA, you're hanging out with people that may or may not be practicing social distancing.
Right.
So my bone of contention is you went through all this work to lie. I'm not going to say lie, cheat, steal, but literally to lie to your fellow constituents and wrestlers out of the promoters. And you got caught because it was proven that you faked the result.
Mhm.
Just for what? For a cheap payday? For a quick payday? That is what you decide to do. And for me, and I'm going to talk about this more with my group over at Big Gold Belt tonight, you willingly risk people's lives for you to make $150. Are you on average? Are you kidding me? That's a problem for me, and that is why I don't see myself attending a wrestling show in the near future, unless I am far, far away from the performers and fans. That irked me so much because I know people and I have some friends who worked the show and they went through the proper channels to get cleared, only to have themselves be put at risk because some people wanted to lie.
Yeah, man, that's tough. Are there any consequences for the wrestlers who got busted, and is it promoters as well?
I honestly think the only thing you can do is just not allow them in your promotion. I'm sure if fans really want to complain about it, they could get their money back, but what is that going to do? You know, the person is still out there, the people are still out there faking results, putting other people's lives at risk. So there really isn't anything you can do unless what? You get sick, you give them the doctor bill. It's wrestling. It's always been known as a carnival business. I don't foresee many independent promotions shelling out the cash for people to go get tested.
Right. Man, that's rough. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, I've seen some morally reprehensible things this year, and that goes right up there at the top of the list. Yeah, so much so that I just don't even know what to say anymore. That's pretty awful, and yeah, I don't blame you for not wanting to go to a show.
I just won't. That's one of those things where, as much as I want to go with like all of you to see a wrestling show, we're not there yet. We're not there as a safety precaution just yet. Maybe if it was a drive-in show, I know a couple of promotions have done drive-in shows. It's an outdoor ring and the fans watch from their cars. I'm okay with that because I've seen concerts that way with Sarah and a few of our close friends. But other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, I will say that I mean, you know, there's been local shows here that have been running. You know, of course, I could have, you know, have gone to a couple of them already, but from those who I know personally that have gone, they have, you know, basically taken all the steps necessary to ensure everyone was safe, right? So, you know, obviously that, speaking of the collective and, you know, that whole thing, I mean, yeah, you have something like that where there's many people involved. I mean, with coming from all over, especially with wrestling promotions, things of that nature. I mean, you know, yeah, you do have I could definitely see a higher risk of someone, you know, essentially lying to get on the show and things like that to, you know, go through that whole rigmarole. But I mean, I'm not saying I will go to a show right now as well, but I mean,
inevitably, yes.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll happen, right? I'm sure I'll go to a show here soon enough. I mean, you know, again, as long as, as long as those promotions are here locally are doing everything safe, then I'm sure they are, right? I mean, for the most part, the wrestlers here are local unless they bring somebody in, to which, yes, they'll test those guys too. You know, as a matter of fact, earlier this week, how was it this week? It may have been yesterday. Yeah, I believe SOAR, they had big Luke Gallows. He was here this week, you know, so I mean, yeah, I mean, that, you know, precautions are still being used, so at least locally. You know what? Speaking of shows, I do have a rumor here that I can report on. Nothing's confirmed or anything like that, but I did mention a while back that Survivor Series was supposed to be here in November.
Mhm.
Okay. Obviously, that doesn't look like the case because the Thunderdome at Amway Center in Orlando, they've extended their contract, for the next 4 weeks. Okay. Which will probably mean Survivor Series will happen, obviously, in the Thunderdome. But I do have it on good authority because my second home is the AAC. I do have it on good authority that the AAC has been contacted for dates in December.
Huh.
So now, who, what, where, why, how? None of that has been answered yet, but I do know that for something. So we'll see
Man,
what becomes of it, if anything. But again,
I don't know.
I mean, there's already football happening with certain stadiums. There's baseball happening right now in our own backyard. So it seems like wrestling's next.
I would say buckle up. We're seeing surges that
Yeah.
are higher than when everything got shut down. We have an election coming up right now. That election's done, and no one's job is on the line. It's just get through this. I think the parameters change a lot, and like I said, everything's been surging. I want to thank everybody for coming out to Free Play and supporting like they have while they have. Like we need all hands on deck for sure during this time. And I believe about as much December news. Not that the AAC wasn't contacted, I'm sure they were, but like my grain of salt is the same as I had with the LA Comic-Con. Like, yeah, the cases are worse than they ever have been, and we've already shut down all of society. Now, I know there's some fatigue and some I don't care going around there, and I think there's a second threshold. Like, it's just our tolerance for our fellow man dying is now lower, but I suspect there is still a time where we'll cut these events off. So I just don't. Buckle up. We need a vaccine.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like we're getting closer, but
It does not.
it's not here yet.
No,
Yeah,
it does not seem like
Here
we're getting
yet.
closer. The
Yeah.
numbers are exploding,
Mhm.
and it's coming to winter season where viruses typically ramp up as everybody's confined indoors with each other, which is how this virus spreads. So, fun times.
I think for me I think that wraps up my contributions to the show, Chris. If you want to, I know we're waiting on Jesse potentially to do his Bret Hart referendum.
Nice.
Oh yeah, no, we got another 4 hours of broadcast time if we need
Uh-huh.
if we need to put it
Yeah.
all for the Bret Hart documentary via Jesse.
But if you wanted to cut that promo, Chris, be my guest.
Yeah, we
Alright.
need something happy.
I agree totally. Okay,
Somber
let's
note.
see if I can pull this up here. Just need to change the window. This is it.
I've always enjoyed Owen Hart's theme.
Is that what this one is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? Let's bring back memories already. Gosh. Man, how long ago was this?
10 years ago?
Shut up.
All right, here we go. In the background, let me take down the Chris cam here. Doesn't need to be actually all behind me. So this is from the Wheel of Fighters event. I don't know if this was the first promo, but this was definitely one of my favorites to put together. I'll hit the echo button so you guys can hear it as well. Oh, I gotta calm down Fred Boat too. Oh, nice. Spinny wheel. Right when you want it.
Huh.
All right, here you go.
This is the only time I'm going to do this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I,
Michael Beltran.
coming at you live from Free Play Richardson Tuesday Night Fights. The game is Fighting Game Roulette. come out here, check it out. Bell time, 7:30. I'll be there. I hope you're practicing. I want you to practice. And the prize is my autograph and, of course, a picture with the championship belt.
I sign stuff all the time for all of my fans.
Give me what you wanted. No. There it is.
Celeb status.
There it is. You want a shot at the belt? Spin the wheel. Make the
What
deal.
am I watching?
There you go.
God.
See, we have been fools for years, Damien.
This is the only time
I
I'm gonna
love
do
this.
this.
I love you all
Are
so
guys-
much.
Welcome.
Who came out and said toasty?
That was
Chase.
Chase Cole.
Yeah, he's also the fake Michael Beltran with just a Mike B fathead with on a stick.
Very nice.
Yes, that was the famed promo that Mike B lost to Glass Joe in the background because he was ignoring it to play Punch Out.
It was the second Glass show. Okay. When you beat Mr. Sandman like I did,
Oh my goodness, all the
You might-
excuses.
Glass Joe again, he's much harder than he was the first time around.
We definitely ran this back with a woman who had never played the game before, who was also blindfolded, and she defeated Glass Joe.
No.
First round.
The first one, yes.
Wait.
Yes, Mike B did indeed lose to Glass Joe. It's the lore.
The second one.
There's video evidence.
Second one.
Mhm.
Do you have that available or?
That'll have to be at the end of next week's show because I know you got to go.
Okay.
It's like 1:50. Does anybody have anything to plug? I'll leave the last plug for Damien because I know he's got the Big Gold Belt podcast. But
Let's see
Wanna
here.
send him
Before
anywhere?
Damien does that, I will say that if you're around Free Play Richardson Saturday, consider going by. More on that later.
mm,
You're gonna have to DM me what that is, Mike, because I wasn't gonna go to free play, so now I need to know what's happening in order to change my plans.
I think you should go. Yeah. Let's just
Well-
say that it involves speakers.
Oh.
Did we find that DMX contest video
Oh
finally?
God, no, we did not. We did not find that. No.
Are you gonna play your mixtape, Mike? Is that what's happening?
I
Your
am
demo?
not.
Oh, the
No,
video.
no, the demo. No,
I
no,
might need to change my plans if we're gonna have the
Oh my
demo
God.
debut.
No, I don't have the
All right.
demo.
You've heard it confirmed. Mike B.
I don't have a
the
demo.
live performance.
That's
I
of
don't
the
have the demo.
rap demo.
Oh my God.
He's gonna freestyle it.
Go ahead, Damien.
Remember,
Send us home.
So thank you everybody again for tuning in to Nerd Side of the Ring. You have been listening to myself, Mike, Lauren, Chris, Jesse, Kim, Carlos when he comes back from his protest of Sasha being so low on the PWI Women's 100. You could find me on social media at Damien G Show on all your social media platforms. I am part of a collaborative called the Big Gold Belt Podcast, Big Gold Belt Media. We are a nerd culture, wrestling, sports, a bunch of broadcasters, interviewers, and the like. You can catch us every Tuesday, 7 p.m. our time, Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming on my Twitch feed, The Damien G Show, as well as on Facebook and YouTube at Big Gold Belt Media. Find us at BGB Group on Twitter and BigGoldBeltMedia.com. Tonight, for those who have nothing to do at 9 p.m., Game Tracks will be making an appearance. Our friend Game Tracks will be making an appearance on the Damien's Advocate Show with myself and Sarah,
All right.
talking about dating red flags and the dating life after a breakup. So be sure to tune in for that, as well as a bonus episode of Damien's Advocate, which will be dropping probably around 6 p.m. tonight for Sarah and myself. We have some strong opinions about the courtship process of dating. So be on the lookout for that. And you can find all that on Damien G Show on all your social media platforms.
Bell time 7 for those? 7 for the
It's going to
bonus.
drop at 6, but
Drop
bell
at
time
6.
for Big Gold Belt is 7.
Okay, so yeah, the bonus episode at 6, Big Go Belt 7, 9 p.m. is the Game Tracks live appearance. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Thank you so
Full
much.
day
for doing
worth
it.
of broadcasting.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to support. I am probably heading out to Free Play Fort Worth to support the Third Strike guys out there. But all the free plays are open 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Thank you guys for joining us, and let's send it home with a raid of Mystery Science Theater 3000 24/7. Enjoy, everybody.
We'll see ya.
All right.